AI agents might sound complicated, but by the end of this video, you'll understand them so clearly that you could explain them to a 5-year-old. No confusing jargon, no overwhelming tech talk, just a simple breakdown of what AI agents are, how they work, and why they are about to transform business forever. So here's what we're covering. First, we'll break down what an AI agent actually is. First in a way a 5-year-old would understand, and then at a graduate level. Then we'll compare AI agents vs AI automations, so you know exactly what makes them different. And finally, we'll go through a step-by-step tutorial where we'll build an AI agent together using n8n and no-code tool. So by the end of this video, you won't just understand AI agents, you'll know exactly how to build one yourself. Let's jump into it. So what exactly is an AI agent? I'm going to explain it to you in 2 ways. First, as if you are 5 years old, then as if you were a graduate student. Alright, so imagine you have a super smart robot friend, but this isn't any robot. It doesn't just do what you say. It actually listens, remembers, and thinks for itself. So let's say you're hungry. You would say, "Hey, I'm hungry, can you get me a snack?" The AI agent would respond, "Sure, last time you had cookies, do you want cookies again or something different?" So the robot has memory, it remembers what you like. You could say, "Ooh, I want an apple today." The AI agent would respond, "Great choice, let me check if we have apples before I grab one." So it has reasoning abilities, it checks before acting. Now the robot goes to the kitchen. If there is an apple, it will say, "Here you go." So it can make a decision, it finds the right answers and takes action. If there's no apple, it says, "Uh-oh, we're out. Do you want a banana instead? Or should I ask mum to buy some more?" So it has adaptability, it adjusts based on the situation. And here's the cool part. Next time you ask for a snack, it might say, "You loved the apple last time. Do you want another one or something new?" So this is continuous learning. It improves based on its past interactions. So do you see the difference? A normal robot just follows orders, but an AI agent actually thinks and makes smart choices. And that's what makes it so powerful. But now let's take this up a level. How does this actually work in real life? Let's break it down at graduate level. An AI agent is like a digital worker that can perceive information, it can think, it can take action, and it does this without needing human supervision. So unlike a simple automation which just follows rules, an AI agent can analyze situations, adapt, and it can make decisions dynamically. And it does this using 5 key components. First, it needs an input. Think of this as the AI agent's senses. Just like we get information by hearing, reading, or seeing, an AI agent gets it from its inputs using different sources. So this could be a chatbot message, like a customer asking a question. It could be a form submission, like someone requesting a service. It could be a database update, like an inventory system showing low stock. A real-time API request, like checking flight prices or stock market data. So let's give an example. If a customer says, "Where's my order?" that's the input. Next, the AI needs to think. And this is where the LLM or large language model comes in. Think of this as an AI agent's brain. This is the part that actually processes the input and decides what to do next. And it takes the information it received and understands the context. Is this a question, a request, a complaint? It extracts meaning. What exactly is the user asking for? And it generates a response or an action. Should it reply? Should it retrieve data? Or should it trigger a task? For example, if a customer were to ask, "Where's my order?" the LLM could recognize that it is a tracking request. And it figures out what the information is needed to answer. But thinking isn't enough, it also needs instructions. This is where the system prompt comes in. Think of this as the AI agent's rulebook. The system prompt tells the AI how it should behave. Should it be formal and professional, or should it be casual and friendly? What knowledge should it use to answer questions? And what kind of actions is it allowed to take? For example, a system prompt might say, "You are a helpful customer service agent. Always provide tracking details in a friendly tone." That way, every time it responds, it's following the same guidelines. Now, what if the AI needs to remember something? This is where memory comes in. Think of this as the AI agent's short-term memory during a conversation and long-term memory for future interactions. Short-term memory helps it in an ongoing conversation. Say a customer says, "My order number is 12345. The AI doesn't have to ask for it again. Long-term memory allows the AI to save past interactions, just like remembering a user's preferences or frequently asked questions. For example, if a user always orders a cappuccino with oat milk, the AI can remember that preference for next time. And finally, the AI agent needs to take action. And that's where tools and plugins come in. Think of this as the AI agent's hands and feet. It doesn't just reply to messages, it can actually do things by using external tools and integrations. It can call APIs like fetching tracking details for an order. It can update a database like logging a customer request. And it can trigger an automation like sending an email or processing a refund. For example, if a customer asks, "Where's my order?" the AI doesn't just say, "I don't know." Instead, it retrieves the tracking number, checks the status, and provides an answer. And finally, it delivers the result. This is the AI agent's mouth. Once it has processed the request, retrieved the necessary data, and followed its instructions, it sends the final response. It might send a chatbot reply. It might update a system or log information. It might even trigger a real-world action, like placing an order or scheduling an appointment. For example, after retrieving an order's tracking status, the AI agent may say, "Your order is arriving tomorrow," and then it could give the tracking ID. So let's put this all together. How does an AI agent actually work? It receives an input. This is a question, a request, or some data. It processes the input using an AI model, so it understands, analyzes, and decides what to do. It follows the system prompt, so it uses the rules and guidelines to generate a response, and it uses memory when needed. It remembers the details from the conversation or past interactions. Then it takes actions using tools and plugins, so it gets data, updates records, or performs tasks. And it delivers the final output, which gives a response, updates the system, or completes an action. So how is an AI agent different from an AI automation? This is where a lot of people get confused. On the surface, they might seem similar. Both use AI, both can complete tasks, and they both can save you time and effort. But the difference, AI agents are smart and adaptable. They can think, remember, and make decisions. But AI automations are rigid and repetitive. They follow predefined rules without thinking. So let's break it down. Imagine you have two robots in your house. One is an AI agent. The other is an AI automation. So let's start with the AI agent. This is your smart butler. If you say, "I'm hungry," it doesn't just grab any food. It remembers what you like and it asks, "Do you want the same meal as yesterday or something different?" It thinks before acting. It checks the fridge. It sees what ingredients you have. And if something's missing, it might even suggest ordering groceries. That's an AI agent. It listens, reasons, and adapts based on what's happening in real time. Now let's look at the AI automation. This is your obedient chef. It's fast, it's efficient, but it only follows instructions. If you tell it, "Make me a sandwich at noon every day," it does exactly that. It doesn't ask you if you still want a sandwich. It doesn't check if you have bread. It just executes the task, no thinking, no adjustments. And if one day you don't want a sandwich, well, too bad, you're getting a sandwich. You see the difference? AI agents are built for flexibility and intelligence. AI automations are built for speed and consistency. Neither one is better, they just serve different purposes. So if you need a system that handles complex decisions, remembers the past interactions, and adapts in real time, you need an AI agent. If you need a system that performs repetitive tasks and quickly and efficiently, an AI automation is the way to go. But here's where it gets interesting. What if you could combine AI agents and AI automations? What if you could create an AI-powered system that not only thinks and decides, but also automates actions seamlessly? Well, you can. And in the next section, I'll show you exactly how to build one step by step using n8n. All right, let's get to making our first AI agent. So we're using this platform called n8n. So the great thing about this platform is that unlike things like make.com or Zapier, you can have AI agent functionality. So it has that inbuilt rather than just having AI automations. And when I was searching what platform I wanted to start learning to use, I chose n8n over other AI agent platforms. Because one, it lets you create very complex AI agents if you want to. You have that capability where you can still use it no code, but at the same time, it's one of the cheapest platforms out there. So you can use it personally and you can use it to scale if you want to work with other clients. So for me, this is the best platform to use at the moment. So you can get started, make a free account, and you get 2 weeks free if you want to follow along with this tutorial. So once you're in, you want to create a workflow. So this is the area where you can create your workflows, and we're going to click this button here. Now we're in. This is where the magic happens. So we're going to jump in, and the first thing we want to do is add a trigger. The trigger is what starts the AI agent workflow. So you have different options here, like you can trigger it manually. It can be based on an app event. So you have lots of different integrations like Airtable, you have ClickUp, all these different integrations. You have Slack, Gmail. So really so many ways to start this AI agent workflow. But for this example, we're not going to use an integration. We're just going to say on a chat message. So once you've selected that, press away, and here we go, we have it. Next, we want to add in our AI agent. So don't worry about everything here. We're just going to go straight to the advanced AI. And here we have an AI agent option. So again, just want to click away. Now, if you remember the diagram we had at the start video, this looks very similar. We have our input, we have the chat model, so this is the brain, we have our memory, we have our tools, and the output. So it's exactly the same of what we described in the beginning to what we're going to do here. So let's collect and select the chat model. So here you have a bunch of different LLMs you can choose from. Choose the one you like. You know, some people like Anthropic. I'm going to use ChatGPT for this example. And what you want to do is you want to connect your ChatGPT account. So you can press here. I already have it connected, but I'll show you how to do it yourself. You can do create new credentials, and you want to get an API key. So if you don't have an API key, the way you can do it is you want to go to platforms.openai.com. So I can add a link to that in the description and you'll get to here. You want to make sure you're in the dashboard section and then you click API keys. Once you've selected that, you can see here, create new secret key. Press that, name your key. So here you can name it n8n test 1. You'll create the key, then here you can copy it. Then you go back into n8n and you paste it in here, and then you're connected to ChatGPT. So this is just basically a password that lets n8n use your ChatGPT to make the AI agent work. And just a quick tip, you need like at least a little bit of credits. So top up something very small, like $5. The way you do that is press the gear icon. You can go to billing, and here you can top up your balance. So here, for example, you can see I have 60, but you don't need that much. Literally $5 will do. So we'll go back into n8n. I'm going to close this because I already have mine connected here. And then you can use ChatGPT for a mini now because we're not doing anything too complex. And then you can click out. So now you've clicked out. What we have essentially here is really just access to ChatGPT. So I can ask it a question here. Hi. And then it's going to go in. The API is going to hit ChatGPT. It's going to say, hello, how can I assist you? So nothing special there. So the next step we want to do is we want to make this more useful. This right now is not useful as an AI agent because we're missing memory and we're missing tools. So to demonstrate how memory works, I can tell ChatGPT something. I can tell it right now that yesterday I ate an entire pizza in 5 minutes. So now it's going to say, wow, that's quite impressive. And it knows I ate entire pizza in 5 minutes. If I ask it now, how long did it take me to eat a pizza yesterday? It doesn't know. So the reason why it doesn't know, because it has no way of keeping memory. So this is an important element of having an AI agent because you want to be able to remember past interactions. So the way you do that is you click on this memory button here and you'll click this window buffer memory. So this is just a way of storing conversations. And here the context window length is the amount of inputs in the conversation it remembers. So if I told it I ate a pizza in 5 minutes and then I do 6 more messages after that, it's not going to remember that I ate a pizza after 5 minutes. It will only remember the last 5 interactions. So you can bring this up or down. So now, if I say the same thing, and I tell it, yesterday I ate an entire pizza in 5 minutes. Then I can see if it remembers what I said. So I can ask it again, how long did it take me to eat a pizza yesterday? And there we go. You mentioned it took 5 minutes. So now it has a working memory. So we've added memory to our AI agent. So it's cool. We got the smart LLM brain, we got the memory, but this is still not useful as an AI agent. This is basically just ChatGPT at this point. What makes an AI agent special is its ability to use tools. This is its way of actually interacting with the world, and this is something that ChatGPT can't do. So if we go into tools, we can see all these different ways it has of interacting with the world using tools. So it can connect to your Gmail and send emails. It can update your calendar. Google Sheets is what we're going to use, but there's all these different tools. If you have Notion, it can come in and do things with your Notion. It can send Slack messages. And it's not just limited to these. You're able to use what's called a HTTP request, but this is just a fancy way of using APIs and connecting to other applications. So really you can do anything you want. In this case, we're going to keep this example simple just to understand how AI agents work and how we build it with this platform. So I'm going to add a Google Sheets tool. And what you want to do here is you want to connect your account. So to do that, you would press create new credential, and then you just want to sign in with your Google account. I've already signed in, so I'm not going to do this. I'm going to go back. And I'm going to choose the account I signed in with. Next, we want to make sure we're selecting the right piece of data so that our AI agent has access to the Google Sheets we want it to analyze. So I'm going to go into here and I'm going to select this, which is example CRM sales data. This is what I want it to use to learn from and to update. So I'm going to select this, and then here you want to select the sheets. So just to show you, I've created this piece of data here. I just use ChatGPT, and there's an example CRM of sales data. I have names, emails, budget, the status they're on. And we're going to use this AI agent to do some really cool stuff here. So if you want to follow along, I'll add a link to this piece of data, and you can copy it and kind of go through the exact steps we're doing so you really learn how to use this tool and create an AI agent. So if you go back here, let's go through the different parameters so you understand what they do and how you can build it yourself. So here we have a tool description. It's set as set automatically now, but we want to set it manually. Let me tell you what this is. What we want to do is we want to describe this tool so that when our AI agent wants to use it, it has a better idea of how to use it. So for example, I'm going to give this a description and say, this is a tool for reading my CRM data about my leads using Google Sheets. So here I've given it a very clear description about what I want this tool to be, and therefore the AI agent is going to understand how to use it. I'm also going to update the name. I'm going to update the name to get CRM data. Next, we have different operations here. So it can delete rows in our data, it can clear them, it can update them. But for this case, we just want to get the information. We want to know what's in the data. So we'll keep this as get rows. And then we'll click away. So this is the first instance of our AI agent, where if I go into the data, I can see I have lots of different leads and all of them have different budgets. So if I go into my AI agent and now I ask it, can you tell me what leads have a budget of over 10,000? What it's going to do is it's going to go into that CRM, it's going to analyze the data, and it's going to tell me exactly what leads have over 10,000. So we can see here, Emily, Sarah, and it'll go through all the leads and give us the information. So already that's super cool and a useful asset in and of itself, right? But we're not going to stop there. We're going to make this even more useful. So what I want to do next is give it another tool. Move this out of the way, and we're going to give it another Google Sheets tool. So select Google Sheets here. So now we want to go in and update these parameters. So make sure we select the right document. So we'll go into here, we'll press our data, we'll press the right sheet. So now we have the data we need. And we want to give this tool a description, just as before. Now, what I want this tool to do specifically is I have a couple columns here, priority and action, and I want to be able to use AI to update these in a very smart way. So I'm going to go back to here, and I'm going to say, this tool updates the CRM with the priority and action status of my leads in the Google Sheets. I just gave it a brief example, a brief description, so the AI agent knows how to use it. We're going to rename it as well. We're going to call this Update CRM. And now the operation is, we don't want to get the information. We already have a tool that does that. What we want to do is update the row. This allows us to update an existing row in the sheet. So we have that. The next thing we want to do is we want to give the AI agent a way of knowing what rows they should update. So the way to do that, we have this parameter here called columns to match on. And this just tells it, how do you know which data we need to update? We just need to give it a unique way of identifying that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select email, because every user is going to have a unique email. And then you have the values to update. So here you can see is all the columns in my data, as we can see here. It's just the columns, it maps it out. It's really smart the way it does it. This first one here is just the columns to match on. So this is like the unique way of identifying the different leads. And the way we do this is we copy this parameter here, and let me explain what exactly this is. So what I love about n8n is it uses AI in everything. You want to press expression here before I explain that point. I always do this. When you're adding any expression in these, make sure the expression part is selected, because if you add an expression and you press fix, it's not going to work. An expression is basically just a way of saying, I want AI to figure out what fields to update. So here, this from AI part says, we're going to use the AI agent to tell me what we should add in these different fields, rather than me saying, you should add exactly this. We're going to make it very flexible and custom. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give this a name. I'm going to call this email. And I'm going to give it a description. So this is helping the AI understand what should be in here. So in the description, I'm going to say email of the lead. And the areas I want to update is the priority and the action. So again, I'm going to press expression, and I'm going to add this from AI. So I'm not going to call it email now. I'm going to call it priority. And I'm going to say priority of the leads as the description. And then finally, I'm going to add action here. And again, see, I made a mistake. I've done it on fixed. It's so easy to do that. You want to add expression. And here we're going to say action. And we're going to say the description is action to take. So now AI is able to use its knowledge to figure out exactly what we should be putting here based on the prompts and what we ask it to do. So we can click away. So remember, we have the input now, we have the brain, we have the memory, we have the different tools it can use. We have one final thing we need to add, and that's the prompt. So if you select the AI agent, double click it, what you can do is add an option to have a prompt. So by default, it's going to say you are a helpful assistant. This is not that great. We want to have our own custom prompt and set of instructions so that our AI agent operates very well and predictably. So the way we're going to do this is I have a custom GPT. So I've got a free school community where I basically explain how to use AI agents for business. We talk about how to use it in marketing, sales, operations, how to use it for your own personal productivity and AI agent strategy. So as part of this, I have a custom GPT, which I share for free. This is a free school community, a free custom GPT, so it won't cost you anything to join. And I have it here in this resource section. So you can go here, open up the custom GPT, and this is going to allow you to create the perfect prompt for your AI agent in n8n. So what we'll do to create this prompt is we'll go back here, and I'm going to take a screenshot of our workflow. So here I've taken a screenshot. I'll go to my custom GPT, I'll paste in the screenshot, and then I'm going to give it a very brief description. And I'm going to say an AI agent that helps update my CRM, which is in Google Sheets. So very simple. I'm going to update it here. And what it's going to do is going to create you a prompt that's perfectly formatted for n8n. So if you see here, it gives it an overview of what the AI agent is. It gives it context, very specific instructions. And because we put in the tool, the screenshot here, it tells you exactly the different tools you've added in the workflow. And it gives it some examples. And all of this is formatted using what we call Markdown. So this is a very clear way of formatting your prompt so the AI knows exactly what it's doing. So we're going to copy this. I'm going to go back into n8n. And then we're going to add it to our AI agent. So you can press expression here just to make it bigger if you want, make it easier to look at. I'm going to delete this prompt here. I'm going to add in our awesome prompt. Look at that. Look how nice that looks. And then we're going to go back and we're going to test our AI agent. Now, if we go in and we ask it to update the priority of leads with a budget of over 10,000 as high, it's going to get the CRM data, it's going to analyze it, and then it's going to use the second tool to update the data. And we can see the log of what it's doing here. So now if we go into our example, we can see here it's updated the priorities as high. Now that's not all. What we can also say is for high priority leads, add an action to follow up. So again, now it's going to go through that same process of using ChatGPT, getting the data, and then updating our CRM. So now if we go back into our data, we can see here is added an action to follow up. So this is a very basic example, and I know we're just using a Google Sheets here, but this gets a lot more useful when you use more complex tools. Like you can connect Airtable or HubSpot or Salesforce if you're using those types of CRMs. You can connect Notion or Slack. So when one of these operations happens, a Slack message can be sent to your sales manager. So you can create very complex systems using this AI agent tool. But for this video, we just wanted to touch on the basics and show you the foundations of how this works. So if you found this interesting, you found it useful, and you want to learn more about how you can use AI agents specifically in business, then the best place to start is joining my free school community. I'm constantly updating with new videos and tutorials. So yeah, I hope you found this useful, and I'll catch you next time.